Alright, second quintuplet Nino Nakano ride line is here, along with some Gandiva support, and also Favnir's official ride line, so let's begin. But before we reveal the new cards itself, let's start off with the Stride deck set stuff with the unit reveals. So first off, for Shiranui, we officially confirm, and it's suspected to be Shiranui Mukuro as the finisher Stride unit of the deck, and we also got Madoi, Sezui, and Genkai for the ride line. For Luard, the finisher Stride unit is Drag Strider Luard. I am so excited to see this card again. I've been wanting this to be remade at V, but unfortunately we never got that, but at least that we got this at Overdress. Makes me more tempted to buy the deck set now, especially the premium one, but also the returning ride line of Root, Neves, and Leofold. Overall, even though these are suspected, I am just excited to see them again. Oh, and I really hope the card sleeves will come with the English version, by the way, because for some reason Bushiroad really hates giving the card sleeves to the English side. Next, we got Favnir's official ride line, which does exactly the same thing as the one with Graham Grace, but now Dark States has a generic ride line that can be used for every deck with a unique grade 3. And now to the new Gandiva stuff, Scarlet Flame of Artillery Soldier Arshaw. Grade 1 8k power and skills. Auto Rigor. When this card attacks or boosts, this unit gets plus 2k power until the end of battle for every card in your bind zone. If this card gets 10k power or more, retire this unit at end of battle, and this ability is mandatory. So basically, if it becomes too strong, it dies. This can be considered a minus in a way. At the same time, it does increase your drop zone count, which can increase your bind count, so there is that, but I don't really recommend this card in Gandiva if you're going to try to play it there. Next, Scarlet Flame War General Bavalin. Grade 3 Dark Power and Skills. When this card is revealed by card ability of Gandiva, this card can also be treated as a grade 1 and 2, which is of course really good because Gandiva needs to reveal the top cards of your deck just to be able to retire your opponent's rear guards with those of the same grade of the revealed cards, so being treated as other grades can be very helpful. But anyway, second skill, Auto Rigor. When this card attacks a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is a Gandiva, cost bind a card from your hand face down and then choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire. If you did not retire a card, draw a card, and this unit gets plus 5k power until the end of battle. Pretty decent, increases your bind count, and if you manage to retire one of your opponent's rear guards, Gandiva skill activates binding another card. Unfortunately, unlike some of your other support cards where if you miss a retire, this one doesn't let you bind another card. Still lets you get a draw and power, but an extra bind would be much more helpful here too. But still a must run because, well, it still binds a card face down from your hand, and also being revealed as a different grade is also very helpful for Gandiva. And then to the generic card of Dark State, which does the exact same thing as the Dragon Empire one, where you put the 2 total cards from your soul or drop zone from your ride deck and put it back face up when placed on Rearguard or Guardian, and then you activate one of the following abilities. If it's on Rearguard, countercharge 1. If it's on Guardian, shield plus 15k. These could be run as tech options, and they're not entirely too bad to run anyway. And now to the Nino Nakano ride line, skipping the grade 0 because that one is going to be used for every quintuplet ride line. So on to the grade 1 weekly power. After the school festival, Nino Nakano, which has the same skill as Ichika Nakano, where when placed on top of quintuplet quintuplets, get your quintuplet memory crest, in which the second skill where Count Guardian, if your memory has 3 or more different named quintuplets, this card gets a 5k shield. Keep in mind every quintuplet has its own nation because Nino is Dark States, so unfortunately no mix and match confirmed. Next to the grade 2 with 10k power, Honeymoon with Everyone Together Nino Nakano, which has the skill of auto. When placed by running on top of the grade 1 quintuplet, look at top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 quintuplet from among them and put it into your memory, and of course shuffle your deck. And I'm sure every quintuplet ride line will have this same skill as well for the grade 2. But the second skill is unique, where Auto Rigor. Once per turn, when the attack of your quintuplet does not hit, this card gets plus 5k power until the end of that turn. If your memory has 5 more cards with different names, plus 10k instead. And this is going to be a hint of Nino's playstyle where you miss to get skills. It's a reminder of Dragonic Descendant basically, or in Nino's case, which I'll explain with the grade 3. To the grade 3 with taking power, the quintessential quintuplet Nino Nakano, which has the first skill of auto. When placed on Vanguard, look at those same cards from your deck, choose up to 2 quintuplets from among them, choose one of the reveal cards, add it to your hand, put the other reveal cards to your memory, and of course shuffle your deck. And I'm sure every every quintuplet grade 3 is gonna have this same skill. But anyway, second skill, Count Vanguard. If your memory has 6 or more different named quintuplets, this card gets +1 crit. Crit pressure, not bad, but the point of it is to combo it with the second skill, but unfortunately this first one needs 6 different named quintuplets, which might take a while, or at least your second grade 3 turn. But the second skill will explain this part where Auto Vanguard, once per turn, when this card attack does not hit, cost +1, stand this unit, change its drive check and critical to 1 until the end of turn. Basically like Descendant plus Maelstrom reverse, because Descendant is attack miss to restand, but Maelstrom reverse where it has a crit pressure and if it misses, skill activates. Now overall it's not bad, especially when it gets the crit where your opponent is going to be pressured a lot to guard this attack. The only thing is it does require 6 memories, so it's the likely chance of getting that in the first grade 3 turn might be a little difficult, but the second grade 3 turn this is more likely to happen, especially the second skill. The only thing I would say is that it kind of lacks a bit of power, but your point is to miss, so lower power the better, but the first skill with the crit makes you want to have that power. But overall not bad. Now from the skill reference, I would have to say the first one is going to reference her boldness to confront Futaro about her love. The second skill I would have to say is her boldness to not give up on him, hence the restand, but that's just my theory on this. And now to the support, the first one being Opening Act Nino Nakano, which is a grade 1 with K power, and the skill is Auto. When placed on rearguard during the main phase, if your Vanguard is quintuplet, look at top of your card's deck, choose one quintuplet from among them and put it into your memory and of course shuffle your deck. And the second skill is Count Rearguard. If your memory has 3 or more different named quintuplets, this card gets +2k power and also activate on your opponent's turn as well. Probably every single quintuplet will have the same skill as well. Next, Love is Full Speed Ahead Nino Nakano. Grade 2, taking power and skills. Auto Rearguard. Once per turn, when this card attack does not hit, if your Vanguard is quintessential quintuplet Nino Nakano, cost +1, put 1 quintuplet from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck, stand this unit. And if your memory has 5 or more cards with different names, you also draw a card. So like I said, Nino Nakano's playstyle where you want to miss. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have any pressure behind it, so this one is more likely to hit. Although going up against a grade 3 Vanguard, this card could just instantly miss right there, but why would you do that? Unless if you want to just draw a card. But the order card, Memory of the School Festival Nino Nakano, which is a grade 3 normal order, you play it if your Vanguard is quintessential quintuplet Nino Nakano. You choose 2 quintuplets with the same name from your drop zone, put one of them to the bottom of the deck, put the other one into your memory. If you choose 1 or more cards, perform all the following abilities based on the number of different named quintuplets in your memory. 3 or more, choose 1 quintuplet from your drop zone, call it to rearguard, and it gets +5k power until the end of turn. 5 or more, countercharge 1. 7 or more, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets this ability. Count Vanguard. All your front row quintuplet rearguards get +15k power until the end of turn. Unfortunately, not the Vanguard itself, which would kind of be nice, especially with the crit. But that extra power is very helpful, especially if you're trying to finish off the game. You have a Nino Nakano on rearguard that can restand itself as well if it misses. And on top that you can just call that Nino Nakano as well. But unfortunately the Vanguard itself doesn't get power, but overall it is pretty decent. So that's it for the new Nino Nakano ride line along with the Gandiva support and the Fab Nil ride line, which is just a copy and paste of the Graham Grace one. What do you guys think of them? Fab Nil ride line is just a whatever, but at least that there's now a generic Dark State ride line that you can use for every deck. Gandiva support is just okay. Nino Nakano as a ride line, pretty interesting. Reminds me of Descendant plus Maelstrom reverse. And Nino is looking pretty good, especially she's my favorite quintuplet. But overall not bad, and kind of confirms that every quintuplet will have its own nation and in which it makes sense. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.